Hello everyone, my name is Apostate Aladdin. Today I'll be showing you two short videos starring, as you probably guessed, these two Dawah superstars. I want you to focus on their words before I share my thoughts on them. And at the end of the video, I'll tell Mohammed, Hijab and Ali Dawah about what they should beware of. Here's a teaser. Hey, Juju.
You think you're a big man?
It is an apish display of executing apostates in a well-mannered way. And that, kids, is why you read the fine print on your university applications. And don't miss the bloopers at the end of the video. Here's a bit of context before we begin. Recently, a movie by the name of The Lady of Heaven was screened in the UK, and it seems to have offended a lot of Sunni Muslims. The movie is about a Shia Iraqi child being inspired by stories of Fatima, Prophet Muhammad's daughter, or one of his daughters, stories which help him endure the war that he's subjected to. And this movie was heavily protested by Sunni Muslims who pressured theaters into not screening it anymore. They don't like it because they think the Shia narrative is disrespectful to their Sunni symbols, among other reasons like accusations of the movie being racist. So that's the context of the following video. Mohammed Hijab, who's a very popular preacher of Islam and part-time stereotype of a Middle Eastern British gangster, he got into some heated argument with a Shia Muslim about this movie. He posted this video to his Instagram but deleted it at some point later.
So this It's the Bruce is coming out now, yeah? And you think you're a big man? You're talking about the Ummahat al-Mu'mineen. You're talking about the mothers of the believers. You're talking about the Khulafa al-Rashideen. You're talking about the sacred symbols for the Sunnis, and you think there'll be no response. This is not debate talk. This is fight talk. You're coming out vulgar, and you're trying to desecrate our symbols. Here's what I say to you. Can you put your money where your mouth is? Are you like a child that you're just talking big, but you can't actually act big? So let's put your money where your mouth is. Let's put your money where your mouth is. Let's do a fight, a legal fight. Let's do it. Let me humiliate you, bro. Just take the beating, take the humiliation. I just want to fight. I just want to fight you. That's what it is. A legal fight. Let's do it. Let's not waste time. Let's not talk about debates. Let's not talk about this and that. You're an unworthy opponent. So let's just do it. You want to put your money where your mouth?
If I could sum up this video in one sentence, I would say it is an apish display of his ideas about manhood and a reflection of the violent nature of those he derives his moral lessons from. I mean, if I spent my days studying the lives of the Prophet's companions and thinking that they were the best of the best, I too would walk around aching to unsheath my sword like Umar ibn al-Khattab, or set fire to some apostates like Ali ibn Abi Talib. It's Hijab's nurture that makes his nature so violent and volatile. He said, "You think you're a big man," as if having an opinion about Shia or Sunni religious tales has anything to do with manhood or the size of it. I mean, his size. He said, "Put your money where your mouth is." Well, he is the instigator of a physical fight, as far as I'm aware, or trying to instigate a physical fight. So we can infer that violence is just a natural escalation of a debate he won't have. I mean, he explicitly says, "This is not debate talk, and let's not talk about debates. You're an unworthy opponent." Did he learn that at Oxford? I mean, do they pit the unworthy debaters or applicants against the alumni in boxing matches?
A legal fight. Let's do it.
Hey, Juju. Muhammad was a misogynistic and inconsistent man who was neither a prophet nor wise enough to predict the ramifications of his actions and teachings. Thanks to him, you have to defend this document format called PDF files. Now, are you going to get in a ring with everyone who says that? Because that's one way to get a lot of concussions. He says, like a child, talking big but can't actually act big. Setting aside the hilarious irony in that. Again, it's just an obsession with size. It's not about the size of the head, it's about how you use it. What is the correlation between having an opinion about a religious character, even if it's a blasphemous opinion, and being physically large and violent, or being a man at all? He says, humiliate you, bro. Take the beating, take the humiliation. And that's a recurring theme with many of these younger Dawah figures. They're so arrogant and self-centered that they think of arguments in terms of pride and humiliation, rather than sincerity and humility. If this chest-thumping man wants to fight to release his pent-up anger about religion or whatever other topic, shouldn't he just be praying harder? Should he not consult his God on what to do? Wait, hold up. What's that? His God is also a chest-thumping angry man? Well, that figures. I wonder if Oxford has a process to withdraw degrees they awarded to embarrassing alumni. And if so, what do you think it would look like?
A legal fight. Let's do it.
And that, kids, is why you read the fine print on your university applications. I want to highlight this focus on the legality of the fight, a legal fight, he says. It gives him a false sense of security against accusations of violence, as if it's all good as long as it's legal. And that's a fantastic segue to today's sponsor, Therapy for Angry Men. Just kidding, it's a segue to a video of his buddy Ali Dawah demonstrating the brazenness of the Dawah gangs in the UK.
There's this whole narrative going around of ex-Muslims, their lives are threatened. Look, man, I spoke to a lot of ex-Muslims. The Sharia tells me I live in this land. Hold
up, pause right there. He says the Sharia tells me they live in this land. If you don't speak sleazy apologist language, let me translate for you. He's saying that Sharia, Islamic law, orders him to respect the law of the land he lives in. And in this case, British law forces him to not harm ex-Muslims even if they walk around with that label.
The Sharia tells me I live in this land. They can do whatever. They can walk around all day with ex-Muslim placards. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Because my religion is not that weak that a few ex-Muslims are going to come and we're going to be like, oh my gosh, my religion is finished. Look. Very simple.
He's not saying that Islam is so damn tolerant to allow us to exist. It's the UK that these ex-Muslims should be grateful for. And this seems to escape the minds of those cheering him on as expected. I mean, they bought the snake oil, why wouldn't they cheer on the salesman? And if you think that I'm misrepresenting his position or his words, let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Reason why there's a capital punishment, because people like you, little weaklings who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt, and we're proud of that. Yeah, capital punishment will be applied in an Islamic state. Yeah, not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah, no, under an emir, it is done. Yes, and we, you know what, we'll be watching.
So which is it, Shrieking Beauty? Is Islam weak or not?
Because my religion is not that weak.
It's like Schrodinger's religion, both peaceful and not, both feminist and infantilizing to women, both timeless and don't say that child marriage is bad because that's the fallacy of presentism. So that's just a casual reminder that these Dawah men are experts at doublespeak, lying, manipulation, intimidation, and playing the victim at the end of the day. And that Islam is not that dangerous with a giant asterisk as long as it's not the law of the land. And though I don't truly believe that the majority of Muslims know what's in their books, let alone wish to kill an apostate, I'm frightened to find out how many of them would allow the state to do it if they think God said so. Sounds familiar?
Not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots, yeah? No, under an emir, it is done, yes, and we, you know what, we'll be watching.
In fact, the more politically correct opinion among these two is Hijab suggesting that ex-Muslims be deported. How generous of him. He looks like the kind of guy who gets asked all the time if he's on steroids, not because his physique is impossible to achieve naturally, but because of his anger issues. And Ali reminds me of a loudmouth, cowardly kid who hides behind the bully. And the bully in this case is Islam itself. Because on their own, neither of those two would ever amass such a following or have an outlet for their fragile masculinity that often comes out in the form of threats of violence. And that is a mentality that is validated by many stories in Islam. Like I said previously, Umar ibn al-Khattab, for example, he was often aching to behead someone, so any offense against the Prophet or Islam was his chance to bloody his sword. Here's why I'm telling these two and many others to beware. Your time in the limelight is limited. Your hideous, ugly character is on full display, and though you may have many people charmed or fooled at the moment thanks to the opium of the masses, you are no longer the only ones with a voice. So please continue showing your true colors. The way that they contrast with how lots of us vocal ex-Muslims carry ourselves is going to be very detrimental to your mission. As much as a believer might disagree with me, they would have a hard time arguing that I am belligerent, antagonistic, devoid of empathy, or thirsty for violence like these two. I have not lost my sense of humility, nor do I think that I'm as educated as I'd like to be about most things in life. I'm on a long path of learning, and I am proud of that. However, allow me to acknowledge my strengths by contrasting my behavior with theirs. I do not set out to humiliate anyone, even when they are being belligerent towards me. And I humanize Muslims, and I talk to them in a civil manner. I've never once insinuated that they should be exiled, deported, let alone executed in this land or another one. If you have to qualify where you wouldn't kill me, you shouldn't have the audacity to call your ideology peaceful. The fact that there's even a debate around this topic, whether apostates should be executed or not, should be a gigantic red flag. I am certain that with time and effort, I will continue to grow a platform that attracts those who are repulsed by them and what they teach. I find that a lot of ex-Muslims and Muslims relate to me more than they relate to preachers of Islam. I mean, even if they were well-mannered, it's becoming very hard to justify child marriage or wife beating or child beating or stoning someone or executing apostates in a well-mannered way. So, though I won't be doing any chest thumping or threatening, I know my efforts are not in vain, and I know that my voice will grow. So beware, because I and so many others like me are going to be saying whatever we want while evading the violence that shielded your religion for over a millennium. No thanks to Sharia law or Muslims rushing to defend us, but thanks to non-Islamic laws, however flawed they are. And what's difficult to believe is that these wannabe thugs are backed by organizations and so many people, financially and otherwise. They have professional equipment, studios, and whole teams to do their writing, editing, and everything. They don't have to worry about being attacked by vigilante mobs or exiled from their communities. They don't have to worry about losing a job because that is their job. They can say the most horrid things without worrying about whether it would shut down their platforms, get them canceled, or diminish their salaries. And I'm just some guy in front of a smartphone dedicating my evenings and my entire team of me, myself, and I to a cause that I believe in. And I will no longer be shamed for reminding those who can to support me monetarily. I cannot do this alone. For the short term, or as long as it is sustainable, working on my channel is going to be my top priority, second only to my personal life and well-being. Third only. I am actually putting my money where my mouth is.
A legal fight, let's do it.
No hijab. I meant putting my literal money where my mouth is. I am giving up a salary to rely on my savings, revenue from the channel, and donations, and now I will be focused. You won't like me when I'm focused. I want to continue making videos and live streams that counter Islamic apologetics, like in this series, and give a voice to ex-Muslims, and discuss and satirize problems in Islam, and create a space where Muslims have felt comfortable and will continue to have discussions without threats or tones of humiliation. I have a lot that I'm working on and will continue to develop thanks to your help, all of you, dear viewers. And if you would like to contribute to what has become my passion, please find the links in the description. And if you can't or don't feel compelled to, stick around and leave a like and a comment. I've been overwhelmed lately with supportive messages, and I want you to know that I read as many of them as I can, and I appreciate every single one of them. And I don't know if I'm that boring or if my voice is that soothing, but plenty of you have told me that you seem to fall asleep listening to me talk, so I made a second channel where I do just that. Talk, I mean not fall asleep. So check it out. I will not take offense if you doze off while I read some stories there. Thank you all for watching, and as always, think critically and think for yourself.
Exclusive footage of Mohammed and Ali fighting.
People like you, little weaklings.
You think you're a big man?
I don't care. It doesn't affect my...
This is not debate talk. This is fight talk.
Yeah?
I just want to fight.
Yeah?
I just want to fight you.
It is done, yes.
A legal fight, let's do it.
And we, you know what, we'll be watching.
Can you describe the guy who threatened you two?
Big man.
And what did he do?
Act big.
I don't know what that means. Okay, what did he say?
You're just talking big.
Can you elaborate?
This is fight talk.
Okay, never mind. And you said there was someone with him.
Yes.
How would you describe the second guy?
Little weaklings.
Okay, and how did he talk?
You're like a child.
So they were both behaving oddly.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wait a second, were you two watching a video of yourselves?
Yeah? And we're proud of that.
God damn it, get the hell out. Say what you want about me, but actually no, don't do that. This is not an invitation for you to say whatever you want about me. It's too late. And that Islam is not that dangerous with a giant asterisk. That's not what I meant to say. Asterisk. Star thingy. He says, like a child, talking big but can't actually act big. And I can't. Take 2. Talking big but can't actually act big. Take 3. Talking big but can't actually act big. This is the 3rd time I had to do this. I can't stop laughing. Okay. But can't actually act big. Setting aside whether the take 4 or 5, I don't know. It took 4 or 5 takes to get this done, so you're welcome. Let's see if I can read all of these in one breath. Thanks to Tasneem Khokhar, Wesley Potts, Taylor, Munir, and Abdullah Samir, Quicksode, Fred Pallison, also Apostate, Tim, Annie, Desi Neo, Reason on Faith, Rico, Benjamin Iota, Troy, and Zahira. Yes, nailed it. Also, YouTube seems to think you might like these videos. Bye.